The Voyager Enigma, an invitation to chaos? In the vast and ordered tapestry of the cosmos, where civilizations flourished under the pillars of logic and harmonious coexistence, something peculiar emerged from the interstellar silence. It wasn't a war cry, nor a signal of alliance, but a distant whisper, a small, primitive probe called Voyager. For eons, the galaxy had known order and predictability, but what this relic from an unknown world would reveal would change everything forever. Prepare yourself, for the story you are about to hear isn't just about space, but about the essence of a species that defies all known logic, our own. The Observers, impeccable logic and the fear of chaos. The civilization of the Observers, formerly known as the Galactic Federation of Unified Protocol, was one of the oldest and most technologically advanced races in the Gliese Council. Their existence was governed by precise algorithms and an unwavering adherence to logic. For a Galactian, emotion was an inefficient variable, a mere noise in the equation of existence. Their cities were perfect symmetries of light and structure. Their societies functioned with the precision of a cosmic clock, and their conflicts, when they did occur, were resolved through strategic negotiations and calculated displays of force, never through passion or irrationality. They had decoded the languages of thousands of species, catalogued galaxies, and predicted the movement of asteroids with astonishing accuracy. Hence, the signal from Voyager was, for them, a fascinating anomaly. The small gold record contained images of smiling children, whales singing in the oceans of a blue world, and the serene spectacle of a sunset. The message conveyed harmony and natural beauty. First analyst Xylar, a being whose mind processed data at unimaginable speeds, led the team tasked with decryption. At first, they interpreted the probe as an invitation, a sign of a young and promising species, perhaps worthy of being welcomed into the vast and ordered galactic tapestry. But, as they would soon discover, the truth was infinitely more complex and more unsettling. The arrival, a cosmic mirror of human contradiction. The observer vessels, equipped with almost flawless stealth technology, positioned themselves discreetly on the fringes of the solar system. Smaller, undetectable probes were dispatched into Earth's orbit. There was no intention of attack or invasion, merely meticulous observation and data collection. They wished to validate Voyager's initial impression, to understand what that world of beauty and whale song truly represented. What followed was a torrent of information that defied every one of their logical principles, every algorithm, every expectation. The idyllic image from the Voyager probe was shattered by the deluge of raw data now flooding their monitors. Earth, a planet with a perfect climate for life, rich in natural resources and breathtaking biodiversity, was also a hotbed of contradictions bordering on madness. The observers noted that, despite its exuberance, humanity seemed hell-bent on undoing this blessing. They observed unrestrained pollution, massive deforestation, and the irresponsible exploitation of resources, as if the very existence of the planet were a challenge to be overcome and dominated, rather than a home to be preserved. They witnessed paradoxical behavior. Humans mourned the loss of species, yet simultaneously continued practices that led to their extinction. And what of their communications? It was an orchestrated chaos, a dissonant symphony of information and emotion. Social media platforms buzzed with trivial and complex discussions, often replete with an aggression disguised as humor. Films and series depicted apocalyptic scenarios and war strategies as brutal as they were creative, something unimaginable for alien minds that viewed combat as a precise science, not a chaotic art form. For the observers, who settled disputes through probability calculations and displays of power without physical contact, the idea of entertaining oneself with violence seemed grotesque. They witnessed the existence of atomic bombs, weapons capable of annihilating life on the planet itself, developed by a species that, paradoxically, celebrated life in its most diverse forms. A species capable of creating unparalleled beauty in art and music, yet also perpetrating unspeakable atrocities. Humanity, it was clear, enjoyed conflict. Not just against external enemies, but against itself. Wars over territory, over beliefs, over power, all coexisting with surprising acts of altruism, inspiring art, and an unshakable ability to rise from the ruins. Xylar, in particular, was fascinated by what they called humor. Animal memes, political jokes, comedies where laughter stemmed from others' misfortune. None of it made any sense to the pragmatic Galactian mind. Why would a species spend so much time and energy on something that served no apparent logical or biological purpose? For them, laughter was an expression of joy at a logical resolution, not a reaction to absurdity. Despite all the self-destruction, they noted an unexpected resilience. Cities were destroyed by natural disasters or conflicts, only to be rebuilt with surprising speed and determination. Humanity seemed to thrive in chaos, constantly adapting and innovating. "They are like a parasite," observed one of Zylar's bewildered assistants. "But one that parasitizes itself and, somehow, grows stronger with each wound. It's a biological and social anomaly." For the observers, who lived in a society governed by algorithms and protocols, humans were vibrant, terrifying, and above all, unpredictable enigma. What exactly was this species? And what were they to do with it? Suspense settled over the Galesian command center. Were humans a threat to be contained, an aberration to be studied, or something more? The shadow of the Cathar and galactic despair. The truth was, the Gliese Council was in a desperate situation. For eons, they and their allies had been losing a protracted war against the Cathar, a tyrannical and ruthless race sweeping across the galaxy. The Cathar sought not resources or territory, they sought total domination, the imposition of their own singular order upon all other life forms. Their tactics were brutal, yet oddly predictable, based on a logic of efficient annihilation. The Council's defense system, predicated on logical and predictable tactics, was proving ineffective against the sheer, overwhelming force of the Cathar. The Gliese Council, with its vast fleet and superior technology, was being slowly crushed. They had exhausted all their conventional strategies, all their logical calculations for victory. The Galesian Federation, once unshakable, saw its demise approaching. It was at this point of absolute despair that Zylar presented his shocking conclusion. In an urgent transmission to High Command, Zylar, who in all his logical life had never felt fear or hope, now experienced something akin to those concepts. His multifaceted eyes fixed on a video of a violent Earth sport, where humans engaged in physical combat purely for entertainment, he declared, "They are illogical. They are chaotic, unpredictable, and engage in internal conflicts for no apparent reason. Their emotions dictate their actions as much as, if not more than, their logic. They possess a capacity for fighting that transcends the rational." A tense silence fell over the council chamber. One of the generals queried, "Analyst, you propose an alliance with a species that cannot even govern itself without conflict." "My conclusion," Zylar continued, ignoring the interruption, "is that humanity is the anomaly we need. Their madness is a weapon. The Cathar operate with cold logic. They would never expect an enemy that doesn't follow rules, that finds strength in chaos, that laughs at adversity. Humans will not fight conventionally. They will fight humanly. They live on the brink of self-destruction and, somehow, thrive. This is an unpredictability the Cathar will never be able to calculate." The idea of recruiting such a volatile species was absurd to any Galesian mind, but despair had led them to consider the unthinkable. Voyager, once an invitation from a seemingly harmonious world, had transformed into the harbinger of an unknown force, perhaps the only one capable of changing the tide of a losing war. The contact, a call to war, and a bargain. Hours after the Gliese Council's decision, a coded transmission, emanating from a cloaked vessel in Jupiter's orbit, reached Earth's main centers of power. It was a request for a meeting, an invitation for official first contact. The message revealed the existence of a galactic war and a desperate need for allies. Human leaders, in an unprecedented global debate, found themselves divided. The revelation of alien life was already a monumental shock. The proposal to enter a cosmic war, then, was overwhelming. Amidst heated discussions, some argued it was a unique opportunity for technological advancement and for humanity to unite against a common foe. Others warned of the danger of getting involved in interstellar conflicts, fearing humanity would merely be a disposable pawn on an alien chessboard. However, the observers, in their request, were shrewd. They openly acknowledged Earth's vulnerability. "Your planet, though beautiful and rich, lacks the defenses to withstand a serious interstellar threat," the alien transmission explained. "In exchange for your valuable and unpredictable combat capability, we offer not only the chance for galactic survival, but also the knowledge in attack and defense technology that will allow you to protect your home against any future threat. The bargain was clear: fight for us, and we will give you the tools to defend yourselves. Humanity, always with an eye on its own survival and capacity for overcoming adversity, could not ignore the offer. The intrigue of such a vast challenge, the chance to prove humanity's worth, or insanity, to the universe, and the promise of technology to protect our valuable home, became irresistible. After a heated debate that lasted for days, with protests and celebrations in the streets, human leaders made their decision. Humanity, always ready for a good drama and an unexpected challenge, looked to the stars and, collectively, accepted the invitation. The universe was about to discover that, sometimes, the best weapon against relentless logic is glorious, unpredictable, and utterly insane human madness. Did you enjoy this extended journey into the beginning of a galactic war? This is just the first part of a completely original story. If you like the idea and want to find out how humanity will shock the galaxy and turn the tide of war, give us a like, comment what you thought, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the continuation.